Kobe Bean Bryant was one of the greatest basketball players of all time and inspired many of the current NBA players to pursue their dreams while also providing fans all around the world with one of the most unique careers the league has ever seen. Though his life and that of his daughter Gianna were cut short earlier this year in a tragic helicopter accident, his legacy will live on forever in the record books and the hearts of millions of Lakers fans and basketball lovers. And today, on Courtside, to honor the memory of the Black Mamba, we'll be talking about 20 things that you probably didn't know about the great Kobe Bryant. Number 1, a name like no other. His first name, Kobe, isn't one that you'll hear often, and its origin is a very curious one. Kobe is a Japanese beef that is considered a delicacy, and one day, when Bryant's parents saw it on a menu, they thought it would be a great name for their son. His second name, Bean, also has an interesting story. The name itself was inspired after his father's playing nickname, which was Jelly Bean. But despite being well known, it's not Kobe's second name, as it doesn't appear in his birth certificate or on any legal document. Number 2, Kobe the Hornet. Though he's now known internationally as one of the greatest Los Angeles Lakers players of all time, and is often compared to the likes of Magic Johnson and Jerry West, his career could have been very different had he played for another franchise. Back in the 1996 draft, Kobe was originally drafted by the Charlotte Hornets with the 13th overall selection. He was traded to the Lakers for starting center Vlade Divac. The trade had been agreed upon the day before the draft, and the Hornets said that they had not considered selecting Bryant before the Lakers told them to do so. Number 3, the youngest in the NBA. When he made his professional debut on November 3, 1996, Kobe was only 18 years and 72 days old, becoming the youngest player in NBA history, a record that has since been broken by Jermaine O'Neal and Andrew Bynum. On that same season, he also became the youngest player to start in an NBA game, and after being selected to participate in the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest, he became the youngest champion of the event. Number 4, the first guard ever. The moment he was drafted and throughout his career, Bryant became known for continuously making history. After being selected by the Hornets, he became the first guard to ever be drafted directly out of high school. And during the last season of his Hall of Fame career, he became the first guard ever to have played 20 seasons, all for the purple and gold, also giving him the record for the most seasons played with a single team. Number 5, can you be an all-star coming off the bench? Of course. During his career, Kobe was selected to so many All-Star teams that it practically became a habit seeing him play during the All-Star weekend. But his first selection was unlike the rest. During his second season, he was selected to participate in the 1998 All-Star Game. But the most impressive thing is that he was still coming off the bench during that season, becoming the last player to date to have been selected to an All-Star team without being a starter. Number 6, better than Jordan? It's long been known that Kobe grew up idolizing Michael Jordan. He would watch hours of film to study every detail of Jordan's game, and he became very good at replicating the moves that characterized the game of the Bulls legend. With time, they developed a close friendship, one which both would later refer to as a brotherhood. But despite the respect they had for each other during one of their earlier conversations, Kobe would not hold back his competitive nature, greeting Jordan by saying, "You know, I could kick your ass one-on-one." Number 7, a family game. Kobe's passion for the game was unique, but he wasn't the only basketball lover in the Bryant household. His father, Joe Bryant, also had an NBA career that lasted 8 years. After that, he played professionally in Italy. After retiring, Joe became a coach and has been able to work with the Los Angeles Sparks, as well as with teams in Italy, Japan, and Thailand. One of Kobe's uncles, John Cox, also managed to play in the NBA, but his career was a lot shorter, as he only played in a single season. Number 8, a knowledgeable man. Kobe and his family moved to Italy when he was 3 years old after his father began playing in the Italian League. As he lived there until he was 14, a young Kobe learned to speak Italian fluently. He would also learn how to speak Spanish, which would help him to communicate with former teammate Paul Gasol during their championship run without opposing players understanding what they were saying. Number 9, a soccer star. Italy is a country where the most popular sport isn't exactly basketball, and as such, even though his father played professionally, Kobe would also develop an interest in soccer and became a fan of AC Milan and then striker Marco van Basten. This interest in soccer helped him develop a new trend when he was already playing in the NBA, as he would ask shoe developers to make his signature shoe with a low top, something that other stars would later replicate. Number 10, K.O.B.E. the rapper. While growing up, Kobe became a fan of hip-hop music and even attempted to have a career as a rapper during the early years of his NBA career. He even got to record a single which was titled K.O.B.E. and was supposed to be released on an album that never came to be. But not everything was bad news for him, as he would be able to meet Vanessa Lane, who was working as a background dancer in one of the studios where Kobe was working on his music. They started dating and would later marry each other. Number 11, 8, 24, and 33? The number he wore while playing for his high school team was 33, but he wasn't able to wear it with the Lakers as they had retired it in honor of legend and former player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because of this, he started his career wearing number 8, which was the number of his favorite player when he was a kid, Mike D'Antoni, as well as the sum of the number he wore during the Adidas ABCD camp, which was 143. Later on, he would switch to number 24 after retiring, became the first player to have 2 numbers retired by the same franchise. Number 12, a trade to Chicago. Following the departure of star center Shaquille O'Neal after his relationship with Kobe was completely broken, the Lakers suffered a string of disappointing seasons with Kobe as their only star. They didn't make the playoffs in 2005 and were eliminated in the first round of the 2 following seasons. Frustrated with the team, Kobe was reported to have demanded a trade to the Chicago Bulls. And though this trade never took place and the Lakers managed to acquire Paul Gasol and win 2 championships, it would have been really interesting to see Bryant trying to bring a title to his idol's former team. Number 13, addicted to work. Kobe's discipline and work ethic were among his better-known traits. These characteristics were eventually called by the public as the Mamba mentality because of Kobe's nickname, the Black Mamba. He was so obsessed with improving his game that he once showed up 7 hours early for practice and wouldn't leave until he made 800 shots. Number 14, an all-around talent. During his career, Kobe was known as a pure scorer. And while it's true that he could score at will, he was also a great passer and an incredible defender. His overall game helped him be named to the NBA All-Defensive Team 12 times, while also being named to the All-NBA First Team 9 times. Number 15, a beloved father, husband, and brother. Though many believe that Kobe grew up as an only child, the truth is that he had 2 older sisters who were called Sharia and Shea. And after marrying Vanessa, he gave birth to 4 ladies throughout their relationship. They're called Natalia, Bianca, Capri, and the late Gigi. Number 16, a true all-star. Regardless of the success of his teams throughout the years, Kobe's brilliance could never be denied, and only Father Time was able to slow him down. Because of this, he's second in history with the most all-star selections with 18, only behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 19 selections. He also holds the record for the most consecutive selections at 15 and is tied at 4 for the most All-Star Game MVPs. After his death, the All-Star Game trophy was named after him. Number 17, a scoring machine. As we mentioned earlier, Kobe could score on anyone, and he often would. Because of his incredible scoring skills at the moment of his retirement, he was 4th on the NBA all-time scoring list, having been recently surpassed by LeBron James. He's also the highest scoring Laker of all time and has 2 of the most amazing scoring feats in NBA history, as he has the second highest scoring game of all time with 81 points and also became the oldest player to score 60 points, which he did on his last game against the Utah Jazz. Number 18, Dear Basketball. After retiring, Kobe wasted no time and started following his next dream, taking inspiration in a poem he published on the Players Tribune called Dear Basketball, where he announced his retirement. He decided to produce a short film. The film, titled the same as the poem, narrated his basketball career with beautiful animation and received the Best Animated Short Film Award, making Kobe the first athlete to win an Oscar. Number 19, a man that takes care of his money. Throughout his career, Kobe made earnings of over $500 million, both through his contracts as an NBA player and through many different endorsement deals with some of the most recognized franchises in the world. But he didn't stop there. On the latest stages of his career and after retiring, he made several investments and established different companies such as the Kobe Incorporated, Granity Studios, and the Mamba Sports Academy. And number 20, a true legend. Kobe's playing career was one of the greatest of all time. His accomplishments often put him in the debate for the greatest basketball player ever. His accolades include 5 rings, 2 finals MVPs, 1 MVP, 2 scoring titles, 18 All-Star selections, 4 All-Star Game MVPs, a slam dunk contest title, and many more. Without a doubt, Kobe was a unique legend and a generational talent that inspired many, not only to become basketball players, but to become better human beings. There's a lot we can learn about him, and his memory will live on forever in the hearts and minds of millions of fans that had the pleasure to watch him play. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to like it and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. We are Courtside.